Welcome to your Productivity Pulse. Today we have Kim Roth, who is a business automation strategist, founder of Allure Connections, and she helps service-based businesses owners simplify their tech, build CRMs, and automate key workflows so they can focus on clients instead of admin work. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Kim, did I miss anything in your profile of what you do?
No, that is what we do. We work primarily with home service-based businesses where we are coming in. They provide a service. They have customers calling them, and wherever we can kind of streamline their automations, that's where we come in and do that. We've been doing a lot with like a voice AI receptionist lately, and it's been really exciting to see what that has done for them.
Oh, so many things that you just said.
Sorry.
So first of all, no, it's all good. Let's just go back to an automation strategist. So tell me, what is it that you actually do?
So I really tell people to think about like their admin tasks when they're sitting there and they're sending out the same email over and over again, or you do have a service-based business and you find yourself at the kitchen table in the evening sending out invoices and contracts and quotes thinking there has to be an easier way. We look at your processes in your business and we find the places where we're like, we can automate that. We can set this up so that all you have to do is maybe click a button and it will automatically go out and pull your customer's address, send out that contract, remind them if they don't reply in a few days instead of you having to go chase them or one of your assistants having to go chase them. So it's really looking at the processes, your admin processes in your business, and seeing where we can add in some automated tasks to take care of that so you don't have to.
So you've got this small home-based business and someone reaches out to you, Kim, and they say, well, what's the first workflow that you would automate? Like, where do I start?
A lot of times we sit down and kind of talk about their full flow. Because if they have their onboarding process nailed down and that is good, then we can add more leads in to become customers. But if they have holes in their onboarding and they can't onboard people in a very streamlined and simplified way, if we add more leads to it, they're going to fail at the onboarding process. So I really like to sit down and see their whole process from lead gen into onboarding and even offboarding. Are they getting Google reviews at the end? Are they scheduling, a follow-up appointment or a check-in? Like, what is their whole customer journey so that we can see where the gaps are and what needs to be plugged first? Because I think, I've said it before, I've heard other people say it before, like adding ads or AI into a broken process just makes it break faster.
So basically, don't keep adding sugar to the coffee and then wondering why it's just getting sweeter and it's tasting terrible.
Exactly.
When we talk about broken systems, I had to laugh because you and I were just talking about this before we came online. We were talking on messengers and then we nailed down a date through that method. But instead of me sending you a calendar link, I actually just sent you a Zoom link that I created. And what happened, Kim?
Well, since it wasn't on my calendar,
yeah,
I didn't show up. And then I felt really bad. And you were worried that something happened to me. And I was like, no, it just wasn't on my calendar. And in my head, I had actually thought it was the next week. But it wouldn't have been on my calendar then either. But at least I would have been looking for, where's that Friday appointment? I was pretty sure I was supposed to meet with Michelle.
Yes. And it wasn't until I took the time after you and I talked, because I'm like, it was not Kim's fault. This was all on me. What happened in this process? And what I realized was that several weeks ago, I had disengaged. I had a situation that happened with my own automation sequence where I had thought I was being all smart and I connected up calendar to one of my AI apps and I was like, ooh, I'm getting this, except that I'm not, because I'm not a specialist and I don't have all the background. And it ended up that when I connected all these pieces together, somehow my orders started going into people's meetings when I wasn't even there, and I was so mortified that I turned everything off, and then that all turned off the whole connection piece. Too. Hence, I am probably one of your soon-to-be best customers, because I'm like, I need to fix whatever's going on, because right now, for myself, as a small business owner, starting a new podcast, I've been running a business, a paper-based business. So now this is a question for you around transitioning. For 31 years, I've run my own counseling service. And now, so much has changed, and there's all these automations you can do. And the question is, can you somehow automate all of that so that you're not running around to a bunch of places?
Right. Yeah. And we can. And it's the same thing. Like, even if you're going from a paper system, your paper system probably works. It just takes you a lot longer. And you want to get it all in one place, right? So we would still sit down and I'd be like, show me your process. And then I would still tell you, okay, so like this here, we can actually have them say, fill out a form. So if they fill out a form online, all of that information is going to come straight into your software so that you don't have to type it in. I know we just did this a few weeks ago for one of my clients. He was going to a job fair. So we set up a QR code so that when people came through, they could just scan the QR code and fill out the form on their phone. He said it was the best thing ever because he didn't have to come home later that night, sit down at his kitchen table and try and sort through all of the handwritten, the little scraps of paper that we always get at the job fair or a home show or whatever. He goes, I didn't have to go through and sort that and plug all this people in. He goes, it saved him so much time. And he had a lot of students coming through, and he goes, they're used to this. He goes, they would much rather type it in their phone than what they want to fill out this little slip of paper for.
That's perfect. And so that actually kind of leads me over. So that transition period of shifting from paper to digital in some ways from the automation. But then I guess the question that I have, and I actually spoke about this in an episode I did with Jordash Johnson about AI and how do we keep things human. But how do we decide when to automate something and when to keep it human?
So that is a great question. And you can look at it a couple different ways. For one, I will use AI to write emails for me, but I'm still the one sending them out and kind of giving that final edits. You can get it to the point where you're like, you know what? 99% of the time, because I've trained it and I went through all of the process and did all the edits, I'm comfortable with letting it send. But it might take you a long time to get to that point, and that's okay. When it comes to personalizing and being worried about, when I'm looking at automations, I'm looking at, let's take the pieces so that those steps in your business will get done the same way every time. So let's kind of go back to your calendar example. So if you have, meeting appointments and you have somebody signing up, you want to know every single time they get a calendar appointment invite on theirs. You also want to send them a confirmation email stating that, hey, we scheduled this during the call. We're going to do XYZ. And then I would strongly suggest sending out that 24-hour reminder, which you did. I got yours yesterday and I almost sent it to you. I was like, hey, this is working too. But, and then sending out, a 1-hour reminder, a 15-minute reminder, all of those pieces you could manually send out, or your assistant could manually send those out for you. But what if she's sick one day and that 24-hour reminder doesn't go out? So when you're looking at automating, you can make sure that all of those things go out, and it actually makes for a better customer experience. So maybe they aren't personalized for exactly them, but most of the time they don't know that. So as long as they're getting that information and it's coming across and it's valuable to them, you're okay, because you're also talking to them, right? You were talking to me in messages, we might be having phone conversations. So you're still talking to them, but those automated pieces, they mean a lot because you're both on the same page too for what's coming up.
And from what I'm hearing you say, that a lot of people actually do have a level of expectation now around a certain amount of automation, that not everything is 100% personalized. When you get a reminder for a meeting, someone's not going to, initially say like, oh, hey, Kim, how was your morning? Oh, I can't wait to see you. And I mean, once in a while we do that because, that's just who you are. But people don't necessarily expect that now in the business world.
I don't believe so. No.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I believe it's more important to get that information across so that I have it in a timely manner.
Do you have an example of a customer of yours that talked about how one of your automation sequences actually saved them time or made a difference in their lives so that it affected their personal life, that they were able to do more things?
I don't have an automation coming to mind, but I recently talked with a couple clients where we have set up like an AI receptionist for their business. And for the one, he owns hair salons where, it's people coming in just to get their haircut. They don't do colors and they don't do all of the other stuff. It's really just haircuts. And we implemented a AI receptionist in there. When we were looking at his numbers this week, across his 8 salons, it has saved him 450 minutes over the month. That's not the big number. The big number is the number of calls was almost 800. So think about how many times, 800 phone calls, if you're getting interrupted, and how long it takes you. I know this is where your expert can come in and you can give some insight on this, because how long does it take you from getting interrupted by a phone call to come back and do that task? And if you're thinking about getting your hair cut, and I'm the customer sitting in there, because he said he's watched before and he's had a stylist get interrupted like 4 times during a haircut. So if I'm sitting there, how confident am I that I'm getting a good haircut after you've walked away from me 4 times in the last 20 minutes?
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that, because you're bringing up the topic of time in a different way, of lost time that can be actually gained back. So time, efficiency, and effectiveness and efficacy as a professional that you gain back, and also improve potential customer satisfaction when you're able to really lean into something like an automation or an AI agent that could really help support you. It's kind of one of those mind-numbing pieces, because a lot of people are nervous about it too. They're saying it takes away the humanity, or it takes away the humanness in that situation. But I think that there are ways to be able to find the balance. And that's really one of our jobs then as humans right now, right? To find the balance.
Exactly. And when we were talking about his phone system and how it's working, he has a 97% like acceptance rate or whatever. So 97% of the people that are coming in are satisfied. But he said the best part about having this agent, he goes, it answers them the same way each and every time. He goes, if somebody comes in and they're really mad or upset, he goes, I don't have to worry about my stylist saying something that they shouldn't say back because this person, was just mean and nasty to them. He goes, my agent is going to be very nice and pleasant and be like, well, we understand. We will take a message and somebody will be calling you back shortly. And she's just always very calm and collected, and it's made a huge difference. And his stylists love it because, that's the big concern, right? Like, we're losing part of our job responsibilities when an AI comes into play. But when it's, something like a phone system that's causing a lot of interruptions, and 90% of your calls are, what are your hours? Where are you located? Like, those don't need to be answered by a human.
And I love that, is that for a lot of people that they are worried about automation and AI coming in and taking people's jobs. But if we take a look at it from the perspective that you're saying, is that it actually adds the availability for people to work better, to work the way that they really want to do deeper work, to be able to, if somebody's sitting down and actually doing a thread, like you were talking about hair, right? Like they're doing something that they're not being interrupted, and the quality of the work can improve by using some sort of AI or automation sequence in that, and that in the end, the maximum time you have is better used all around.
Right.
So a question for you. In your own world, you do something, I saw that you are a high level, is it go high level or high level? I've heard different people call it different things. Maybe you can tell me a little bit more about that, as we're just kind of rounding out our conversation today.
So I'm a high level certified admin. High level is a software. So it's an all-in-one software system where we can run leads, we can send your emails, we can have your landing pages, your website, your voice agents, all of those pieces are running in that same software system. It also goes by Go High Level. The company is High Level. Their website is gohighlevel.com because highlevel.com wasn't available when they went to purchase it. And so everybody just started calling them Go High Level and GHL, but it is all High Level as a company. And yeah, I've been using their software since like 2021, and they keep adding different features to it and what we can do with it and how we can, make our business more efficient. It just blows my mind, the things that they continue to add to it and how we can help other businesses work their business better.
I love being able to find a software company that's not just set in their ways, basically, that they're constantly reevaluating and evaluating what they can do to be able to improve their productivity so that the system that you're using to be able to help clients continues to move and shift, and that it really has a level of flexibility within the improvement of your own time management systems and within your own productivity as a business person and in your own personal life too. I mean, I think that's one of the things people forget is that you can use these systems that will then reflect back and be able to give you back more time in your own life. I know you mentioned just a few weeks ago that we're on holidays, which is fantastic. You know, we all need that time. And while you're away, what's happening when you're away on holiday?
Yeah, so I still continually bring leads in. I have a freebie or a lead gen funnel that I send people to, during social posts or wherever I post anything. I kind of send people to that freebie. So I always have leads coming in. If I have appointments scheduled for after I come back, those are scheduled. I know that my reminders are going to go out. I have recurring invoices set up, so I know I'm going to get paid while I'm on vacation. So yeah, so I mean, and that's just a handful of things that I have set up. There's so many social media posts I have scheduled, and those are being automated and put out on a regular basis. Emails going out. If you start to think through your business and just be like, do I need to do this? Do I actually need to do this on this day at this time? Does it need to be me? And sometimes it doesn't need to be you. It can just be scheduled to happen on that day at that time, and nobody really knows that it wasn't you that did it.
And you know what, Kim? I think that that's a really great place for us to wrap up, is that when it comes to automation and productivity, that it doesn't actually need to be you. And that doesn't make the work that you're doing any less valuable. It actually, what it does is increase your availability to be able to do some of the more human-based work that only you can do. I think that that's one of the pieces that I'm getting from what you're talking about today, is that we can really lean into the automation and the AI to increase our productivity and to shift where we can use our time as humans, because we all need to be able to keep doing those amazing things that we do as our human selves.
That's right.
You mentioned your freebie. So I'm hoping then that we'll be able to make it available in the show notes for people if they're wanting it.
Yes. Yep, okay. Definitely. I have a blueprint freebie. It's a 5-day email course, walks you through thinking about what you could automate in your business and how to do it.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Kim, for being here today and for sharing all your wisdom and your joyful spirit with us today. And I'm really looking forward to diving into a little bit more automation for myself in the near future.
The little things can make a big difference, that's for sure.
Thank you so much, Kim.
Thank you.